Oh God, Dana, these questions.
That's actually all I needed. I didn't need an answer. That was plenty.
I feel hot. I'm like the pressure of
pressure's insane.
answering.
I'm so sorry.
Wow,
I'm so
sweating.
sorry. I'm
It's
so
okay.
Hi, I'm Dana. This is Words That Move Me. This is my dog Wrist Roll, aka Riz, and we are thrilled that you're here because today I'm joined by one of my best friends ever and a occasional nanny to Riz. Riz, no. Because today we are joined by one of my best friends, Jillian Meyers. She is a seaweed sister. She is a Emmy-nominated and Olivier Award-nominated choreographer, performer, educator, professor, and she is a light, a bright, shining beacon of hope and really good art. So I'm very excited to share this conversation with you. But first, let's celebrate some wins. Today, I am celebrating. I don't have one. Yes, a new drill. I haven't been very interested in dancing for fun lately. And today, out of nowhere, I thought, I want to make something that's kind of hard for myself that makes me better at something. Or take a step that is a habit to me and turn it on its head so that it's no longer a habit in that same way. So I have a new drill. I'm excited to complete it, and then I'm excited to master it. And I'm going to take dance class today. I'm coming back, dance. It's been a long, hot summer, and I have not been wanting to dance. I've been tired, y'all. And I feel it coming back. It's coming back. I'm juiced. How about you? What are you celebrating? Congratulations. I'm so glad you're winning. And I'm so glad that Jillian is our guest today. And I'm so glad that she is my friend in life. We talk about stories from our past times that are hysterical and important. And we talk about teaching, what we hope for students today. We talk about being performers and transitioning into assistants and associates and what's the difference. We talk about what makes her a great leader and what makes her a great facilitator. We talk about how she's made over 150 dance numbers for television. You have so much to learn from this person. She is so exciting, and all she wants is for you to be excited too. I am excited enough for all of us. This is the one and only Jillian freaking Meyers. Okay, how are we gonna fucking start this
I don't
thing?
know, Wills. Wait, and
Sorry, start with the clap. That's how we start.
I like. Okay.
Do we what?
You should start with a clap challenge. You should try to clap after.
Go for it.
Oh.
Oh, I knew that one. And one.
Oh. I love.
I do like the idea of rhythm and song though.
Yeah.
Two brightly colored ladies in black and white shoes. We love blousy blouses and curly hairdos.
Yeah, it's like there's got to be a do.
Hi, Julie. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sweating. Yeah, that's yours.
Yep. I know. I feel like you talk
That's
about
mine.
it with most people, and I was like, they got to understand it. But now I'm here. I'm like, oh,
You're like, yeah,
you want
I
to
know.
double check? You want to check in?
Yeah, who do we
Some-
throw?
I
You
don't
can
know.
even throw to mine if you want. You're my guest. Thank you so much for being here.
Well,
it's your
you.
second time on the
Yeah.
podcast, but first time in visual format.
Oh, for sure.
Second time,
Yeah.
well, first time also as my solo guest, because we were joined last time by our magical, also musical sister,
Yep.
Megan Lawson.
Yep.
Check out her episode if you haven't already. And the three of us all together, the Seaweed Sisters episode, we'll drop that in the important
Somewhere.
bits.
Somewhere
before.
where you drop
show
things.
notes, caption, comments, somewhere. Okay,
When was that? I feel like it was
it was early COVID.
Yeah, I was gonna say early
Early
on.
podcast. It
Yeah.
might be like in the first 10.
Yeah, I was gonna
15.
say that was 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Thanks you for
Thanks you.
starting me off strong.
Welcome.
Welks you. Okay, so this is the hard part. I'm so curious to hear how you do this, because when I introduce you, it's like usually like right after I introduce myself to some people. Hi, I'm Dana, and have you heard of Jillian Myers? Because she's the great.
No way.
Sometimes
Oh,
I feel that way about you
so
and a small handful of people that I'm just like, everyone should know. Everyone should know you.
And feeling in relation to in an important way. I think, like if you know this person, well, that's a signifier of many good things. At least if you do get on, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so take the floor, introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
I know.
What do you want us to know about you as we head into this conversation?
Well, I guess this is worth knowing about me. I listened to many of others' intros today because I was like, how do people do this? Because I knew it was coming.
That's good.
And I
That's
was
good.
like, do I tell Dana that I did this? I was like, but that is very much me. A very
You like to rehearse?
I like to practice. I really, and not that I practice what I was going to say, but that is often a thing that I'm driven by. I want to practice. I want to do it again. But you only get one shot at this. So, well, no, because Dominique Kelly, I love.
Yes.
He's like been on many times.
Comes back all the time and will introduce himself differently all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
so with
reference.
That,
you did do your homework.
I did. Yeah. Okay. My name is Jillian Meyers. I am a dancer type that's stolen from Miss Wilson. I love this. It's not only a label, but a categorization.
Yeah.
So I'm a dancer type who grew up outside.
Do you know
of
what I got excited about just now?
Yeah,
I'll tell you after. Go.
Grew up outside of Portland, Oregon, and have lived in LA for almost 20 years. I'm a person who does and makes dance for self and for others.
Totally. Lucky guns. Lucky guns. Lucky sons of guns.
Sometimes there are finger guns, especially in earlier work, which I would never choose now. Anyways, that's another aside. Oh, I'm a person who loves sweet and sincere and funny things of any variety. And those are qualities that are kind of important. Not kind of, they are important to me. In people, in life, in work, in food even,
Sweet,
right?
sincere, and funny.
Yeah.
The only thing I would add to that, if I had to explain your values, your style, would be romantic. When I see your work, I really love the way you almost said make this. I love the way you make love. I love the way you recreate and represent love. It's a very different color of love than what gets represented so often. And so I'm crying. No big deal. You're just done with your introduction.
I think so. Yeah, like I said, I was like, I like the bullet point offerings that people give and like kind of random facts, but we'll start there. I'm sure more facts will come out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to circle back and give a side story. I don't even know if you know that this is where this started. Dance type or dancer type.
Yeah.
We speak in types.
Yeah.
Jillian, do you know where that started?
No, I don't think I do.
I think you do. Because one of the things that we share is a fondness for Japan and Japanese products.
Yes.
Do you remember Ice Type?
Oh my gosh,
wipes?
of course.
They're these menthol body wipes that make you feel like you are on hot, icy fire.
Made by Gatsby.
By Gatsby, which you can find at some Daiso.
Yep.
Like you can find them here.
Yep.
And when I was started dating Daniel, was like really into Ice Types. And there was a shop right near him that had them. And he would pick me up some Ice Types. And he was the one that started applying the word type to other things. Like,
I love
this is a breakfast type food and you're a dancer type. And then he's an actor type. And so types came from Ice Type.
Oh my gosh, Ice Type. And also so good. Very Daniel. That was going to be my guess. It was like some exchange with Daniel, but Ice Types.
Ice Type.
After class, like everyone would use them in Japan. That's how I first got hip to them, because it's like there's a lot of people, you're sweating.
Muggy,
there's not always a shower, but you're going to go on to the rest of your day and not get in your car. So you're going to be like walking around and getting more sweaty. So everyone Ice Type down.
To feel cool and clean and I mean really riveting. You have to be careful with where you wipe.
Location very beware.
Armpits and then be careful for the rest.
Armpits and then be careful. Yep.
Okay, so
Like
fun fact, I think not a lot of people know, we used to live on the same street. Think about that and how much that is.
19 years ago, I think.
19
we've known
freaking
each
years ago.
other.
Morrison.
Yeah.
I was on the Tahunga side, you were on the Lancashire side.
Correct.
Figure it out, Valley types. And we would occasionally walk to Old Millennium together and train together, take classes. Do you have any memories of that time that you care to share?
I mean, I have many, but I'm like, what are you teeing me up for? Which one?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I have a funny story from the night before I went on tour. Do you know that one that I was going to share?
Is it have to do with a parking lot at a grocery store?
No. What's that one?
I'm thinking about in the, I think it was the first week when you moved. We went grocery shopping. I was like, let's go. This is a great value grocery store down at the end of Lankershim, like going towards what was Debbie Reynolds' studio.
It was not Vallarta.
No,
but it's,
and it's not 99 cents Rancho, like Rancho. I can't remember.
It's not Super King.
No, but like great produce, like for a really great price, and as like young dance types, that was a wonderful thing. So I was like, let's go, and we went in your
Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bug, Beetle, whatever. Okay,
turbo diesel Volkswagen Bug.
There you go.
Whatever,
whatever, no big deal. Yeah. And we came out for we went in, did our shopping, and we are like, sweet, all these deals, great produce, yes. And then we came out, and I think your bumper was like hanging off.
Yeah.
The back or the front of your car?
The front bumper. Because the additional sweet thing about going was that I got a pull through spot. So I went in one spot and pulled through. I love a pull through. And I even think I said out loud, I love a pull through spot.
You would. And that's very good at narrating.
And letting you know what's coming up all the time. That's why podcasts,
it's really good at it. Yes.
So we pull through the spot and like, yes, we go inside. And we have a experience in the store. And then we walk out and I saw this bumper in the middle of the like kind of parking lot. And I was like, man, that sucks for that guy. And then we got closer and I was like, oh, that's my bumper. Somebody had also pulled through and then turned left, clipped my bumper and brought it with them, dragged it a couple feet. And that was my first big car expense of living in LA. Yeah. It would not be my last. That same turbo diesel Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
Got T-boned at the Woodman Magnolia intersection. I was going through yellow and somebody was turning left, and that was the pits. That totaled her out.
Yeah.
Good memory.
But it was your first week there, and LA's tough. And not always, but can be really tough in the car sense.
Yeah.
Direction, traffic. I'm not jams, but accidents, all of it. And it was just
right there,
right in your first
right in
week.
the face.
I was like, oh, wow. And sorry, great produce, bad parking.
Really good. We saved so much money. I love that place. That was a really good Valley secret.
Yeah.
What was it called?
It'll come to us.
It'll come. Yeah.
But what are you thinking?
I was going to tell the story because you had 2 other roommates in that place. Mm-hmm. And the night before I went on my first tour with JT, we were going to leave from Millennium. So we're getting picked up at Millennium.
Okay.
But I got rid of my place, I think. So I didn't pay rent that whole. Highly encouraged if you're going on tour and have the ability to not be paying rent while you're gone, get a storage unit, stay at your folks' place during breaks or with a friend, whatever,
sublet.
couch hop, sublet, go on a little vacation, but don't be paying rent for that time.
Yeah.
And so I needed a place to stay the night before, and we were getting picked up super, super early. And we stayed up pretty late eating tricolor Trader Joe's chips and salsa.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. They still make them.
They still do. I have some right now. And then you went to bed.
Yes.
And you were like, just really try to be quiet in the morning. So my roommates have to work. They have to get up so early. I was like, yeah, totally. And then I decided to take a shower that morning, which is a normal decision.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? And now I remember. Yep. Keep going.
You had a bathroom, an ensuite bathroom in your room, but you were sleeping, so I wasn't going to go into your room and use the bathroom. So I used the other bathroom, which was your roommate's bathroom, and you didn't tell me, and they didn't tell me, but the sliding glass doors needed to be handled in a very particular way.
Yeah, they needed to be realigned. It's like some cheap apartment in North Hollywood,
So I'm naked and I slide open one of the doors and then I turn to close the door or turn on the fan or something and I hear and I turn around and that door is falling towards me. So I catch it, and then the other door starts falling inwards towards the porcelain tile wall. So I step halfway into the bathroom to try to grab that one. So now I'm straddling the tub with my naked self holding two glass doors, making a lot of noise.
Oh my gosh.
Making a lot of
nothing
noise.
broke.
Nothing broke except my heart.
I was gonna say, but I remember there was a lot of like gong gong gong
Vocals. I was like,
narrating.
no, ah!
Yes, narrating.
Yeah,
I love it.
And
Oh
then,
my gosh.
and then you opened the door and you were like, "What is happening?" I was like, "Ah."
Dana, I would have forgotten this, but it's definitely like in the recesses. I'm so glad you brought this back up. So, wow, like a real, I mean, for some of our students, like truly a lifetime of memories. Like
Yeah.
those students that are less than 20 years old.
That
we
was
have
your
that
lifetime
many-
ago.
Yep,
I'm
we
crying
have
so
that
hard.
many memories.
I love that neither of those stories had anything to do with training,
No.
which we did do a lot.
Yeah.
How many classes a day do you think we would take? I mean, you were on
Tuesdays
Edge
and
scholarship,
Thursdays.
so you took a billion.
I wasn't.
You weren't?
No. I had technically.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dana.
I know. We've known each other for 20 years.
How did I miss that?
Well, I was there a lot. And technically, I had an LADF scholarship the summer before, basically my senior year in high school, before I moved to LA. But then when I moved to LA, I worked at the desk. But
yes.
there were certain shifts that were not worked by scholarship students.
right.
And so I worked one of those. I think I worked on a Monday and Wednesday strategically because the best class days were Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on those days, it was very probable, and my best days, and probably you too, to take 5 classes.
Yeah.
So it would have been, I think, Mandy at 10.
Yep.
And then there was a break, and then D.
Yeah.
D. Casperry. And then we would do, if we could, Tap of the Napoleon at 4, Tavares at 5:30. And then if
Doug.
we're really, no, Doug would be at 8:30. At 7 o'clock, it was either Terry Beeman, Terry Best sometimes, or Ryan Heffington taught a class
my
at Jazz
God,
2 at 7
yes.
o'clock. So, yeah, if you were like mega
Class
in it,
daddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Tuesdays and Thursdays were big dance days. Yeah. And we would take them all. We met in a class. I
Yes.
think we met in Tavares' class.
Yes.
Because our shared mutual friend, Tony Testa, was like, basically demanded that we were friends.
Yeah.
And we became
Yeah.
friends.
He
before,
choreographed that for
he
us.
did.
He was like, okay, 5, 6, and you meeting.
You
and
two,
friends forever.
Yeah,
Nice.
be friends before he moved out here. So
That's
it was
right.
like
Yeah.
setting up really like such a beautiful bedrock of friendships. So.
How did you meet Tony?
I want to say in a class.
Yeah.
I think he came to visit for a week,
Yeah.
and I was taking Tavares' class because that class was
Your lifeblood.
Yeah, it really was. Like I love him. I love the musicality of his class, and
Yes.
it always feels like magic when he dances. It's unbelievable how he teaches you what you're going to do, but yet somehow there's like transformation and magic than when he does it.
It is unrecognizable. I love that you think it's magic. I get frustrated.
Okay.
I'm like, where was I when you did that? I've been in the room this whole time learning
my
moves,
gosh.
and they weren't them.
Yes.
But what it is a crazy freedom to stretch music
Yes.
and line
Yes.
in such a way that is
feeling.
truly and
Yep.
feeling.
Tavares Wilson. I didn't say his last name, so yeah.
My
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And he is a wonderful teacher and will
Yes.
teach you the way.
Yeah.
And will dance it a different way.
Each time, which for me was like, yes, like not only one exploding my young brain of like, wait, all of those things could be true.
Yes.
Like this is still the framework. This is still what we're doing. And yet like it's a vehicle for so many other experiences, which like now is such an important part, I think, of how I love and approach dance, you know, but also, especially as a young person and kind of continuing the conversation we had before you were with us, for our audience, I love the challenge of it. I was like, oh, and then I would love to stand like next to him and could I match and catch on to his nuance at that time? Like it was like a game. And so this was also something that like I remember Tony and I connecting on very early of just like the game of like how can we be most like and unlike, you know, and choose
what a
that.
good
You know,
game.
and so like standing in the back, like, you know, just nerds, dance nerds.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah.
This brings up a good question. What are your favorite kinds of challenges? And what are your least favorite kinds of challenges?
Dance specific?
Yeah,
Like,
let's keep
yeah,
it like
let's
dance and
dance-ish.
project
Yeah.
specific.
I love feeling like pushed to my edge, whether that be, timing, quality, movement, complexity. I think just to feel pushed, I really love. I love that so much. I love that challenge. That was a question, right?
Yeah.
Loving this
What are the
kind
kinds
challenge?
of challenges that you love? To be stretched on rhythm, to be stretched on like quantity, like how much can I hold? And all the other wonderful things you just said. I don't need to say them again.
It's okay.
But that makes sense. And then in what ways do you not like to be challenged?
Sometimes maybe this is as an older person speaking, an older moving person. I don't love maybe a physical challenge that I feel like is unwarranted or it isn't in support of something that I value maybe more than that. Again, just like a body that it feels different. It feels different when you get older. So I think then you become a bit more discerning about the physical challenges you want to embrace, right? To
absolutely.
ultimately support longevity, So I think, I'm much more choosy about the physical challenges that I embrace and that I feel like that they are moving towards, or at least in support of another goal, rather than just to be physical or impressive.
Yes,
and
impressive.
And that idea is subjective.
This is another great thing. Megan and I touched on this a little bit too. What impresses you?
What impresses me now? Because it wasn't always the same. But now that's the only thing that's relevant. I think it's feeling. I want to be moved. I want to be moved when I watch something, and that I don't have an exacting equation to that, but I, hands down, many hands down, would rather be moved than be impressed. I don't really care to be impressed, I think. And I can be moved by so many things, and maybe some of them are impressive, but if I'm not moved, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In the first year of doing the podcast, the question of the year that I ask all my guests was, what is the difference between technique and style?
That's right.
And my favorite answer to that question, I had two, but one of my favorite answers to that question was, technique is the what and style is the so what. Like, so what? So what's the point? So like, why?
Yes.
Why what?
Wow.
What's the point of the what?
Yeah.
And the older I get too, I'm way less interested in the what and way more interested in so what.
But I love that so what still has what, because I do think, that's a part of it, right? Like, being a dance nerd as you are too, like technique and the understanding of different, like not only styles, but disciplines, like I am into, but I think if they are also void of feeling or void of, I don't know, something that makes it personal to the person that is moving through those disciplines, then I don't feel moved,
Yeah.
So if it was just so, I might also not be moved. I'd just be like,
So what?
So, but so what? There's like, that makes it both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
ooh, fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Food for thought. I'm so glad that you are teaching for a couple of reasons. Well, number one, because you're a dance geek. I think you make it look very cool to care about history, context, challenge, purpose, feeling, humanity, romance, all the good things. Not to mention, like, specifically, I love that you're interested in times, like period specific type of romance, like
yes, I am. You're really
like
Renaissance,
Elizabethan age.
Wilson, this is where us being dear friends is biting me.
Jillian loves. What would we call that? What even is that? What would we?
I mean, I love a period piece, and that could be so many periods. Like there could be. I do love them.
I love a period piece.
I do.
I'm not going to go down that lane. I'll let you preserve some of your mystery there. But I'm grateful that you're teaching, because now more than ever, I believe how important it is to have a great teacher and a teacher that's excited. And I think enthusiasm is one of your superpowers. And I share in that to an extent. I think I can get excited about almost anything.
Yeah.
But I know it can be really frustrating when you teach a class and you feel that your enthusiasm is unmatched. And you and I have expressed some, like, man, did it land?
Right.
Did I get through?
Yeah.
Did it work? And so I'm wondering, when it comes to teaching, if you had a magic wand that would like make your exchanges the way you want them, what would you be changing? Whoa.
I know that's a big question. And you said something you like, what?
Planted a
Yes.
Fraggle?
Well, yeah, just like, sparkle in the back part of my brain.
Yeah.
In my considered opening possibility of intro of myself.
Professor.
What?
You're a professor,
Oh,
right?
I am a professor. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That wasn't it, but I am that.
Professor. What?
I feel like a nutty
best.
professor right now.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking another fact I wanted to share is that I think it's cool to care, and you just said it, and I think that's an important piece for me too, because I care a lot.
Big
and I think
turn
it's
off
cool.
to me is pretending to not care.
Yes, same.
Because we all care. Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me.
We care about something. And why not like reveal that? Because it only, connects us to others
I
that
love
care.
that.
If not about the same thing, but like have the capacity to care, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are full of care. You are very careful.
Careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So magic
Yes.
wand,
Sorry.
dance education
Yeah.
spaces. Why don't we talk specifically, because you teach at Pace, you're a professor at Pace. You teach specifically dance for camera. Is that what you call it?
Choreography for camera.
Choreography
There's
for
a separate
camera.
class.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm adjunct professor. Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah.
So let's take that space and we'll
Okay.
address it first. What do you wish students were doing more of? What do you wish they were doing less of? How would you make that space like chef's kiss perfect, which we know doesn't really exist?
I think I can generalize. Like, I don't even think it has to be space, pace,
Space specific.
specific,
Space specific.
Yep, all of these.
Wow,
word
hard to
gathers.
say.
Yeah, maybe it's just because we just talked about it, but I think the care and like enthusiasm for curiosity, because otherwise that's like all learning spaces, right? Like, is to be curious about what we're doing, right, Riz? Yes.
Yeah, she is maximum curious, this one.
Yes, she is about all things sniffing, smelling. But yeah, I think like that's what I want always in students is like just to have curiosity about what we're doing.
Yeah.
To care that we're doing it. Mm-hmm. I think that it's worthwhile if you care about it, like to I guess support its value, because sometimes like, especially when we do anything, I think a lot, maybe we kind of lose sight of its value because we're always doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I think like maybe especially in school, it can be sometimes a feeling of like, you're not choosing this, like it's kind of happening to
imposed.
you. Yeah. Whereas maybe different when you show up for a dance class, it takes a little bit more kind of agency,
Totally.
so maybe you're a bit more conscious of that. Like, I'm choosing this.
Totally.
But yeah, we're choosing to be there. So let's get into it.
It's also the one thing that you can't do for someone.
Yes.
You can't care for them.
Yeah.
Like, I can clap out a rhythm for you.
Yep.
I can help you understand. I can show you the move. I can
Yep.
I can actually rotate your leg for you.
Yeah.
If you are consenting.
Yeah.
But I cannot make you care.
Yeah.
I would love.
We were kind of talking about this the other day, though, a little bit, and thinking of examples of maybe like instances as young people where it maybe wasn't said in that way, but it was like an exercise that then intrinsically kind of taught us about caring.
Yeah. Talk about it.
I mean, it's not necessarily my personal example, but I can relate to it because I'm sure I've had them. But basically, another young dancer who was a student of Mandy Moore, Mandy Moore is my mentor and dear friend and teacher
And hero.
and all, just like, XYZ.
Yeah.
She's got it there for me. And this other student was a very young student of hers. And she like shared about, Mandy was her weekly teacher at one point when she was very young. And like
At Bobby's.
Yes, at Bobby's. And like teaching this combination that I was like, I think I learned that one. And the beginning of the combination started with a very specific detail. Like, I think it was something like with fingers, hands. And she was sharing how like they did it over and over and over, and Mandy being like, nope, that's still too fast. Nope, this like, and I was like, it made me think about like for young people, inherently, she was teaching them how to care
Right.
about those, not only like, yes, the details of dance, but like paying attention to something and doing it over and over and over, and that it was a small detail. It wasn't like, nope, you didn't do your quadruple pirouette. It was like your ring finger starts this very first motion. And I was like, whoa, like, I don't know how conscious Mandy was, like if that was her ultimate goal, but I'm like, that is a way maybe to help teach young people about caring, you know, and not
we're doing it again. We're doing it again. We're not moving forward until
more
this
of this.
box is
Take your
checked.
time. Slow this. How can there be more quality about this? You know, I don't know. Rather than talking about, do you care about this? You know what I mean? So I thought that was
That's
interesting.
a really great point. I don't like being told what to think is important as an adult.
Agreed.
I can't imagine that I liked to be told that as a child.
Yeah.
But somebody saying again, if I really wasn't doing it right, I understood that. And most of the time I could tell. And I was frustrated. Like, I know I am. Stupid ring finger. Oh.
Right.
Or if it was adagio, it was like stupid hip flexor. Oh. And it was always adagio.
An arabesque, like the position of death.
So the again part says, this deserves your attention.
Yeah. It's like forcing you to care about it.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't actively in that moment, right? Because you were like, oh, again, blah. But it was interesting, again, like maybe 15, 20 years later for this person, like really remembering that moment about like having to be so specific about it, you know? And her sharing this story I know I've had this moment with Mandy many times, you know, in different iterations, and maybe, you know, like one isn't more specific than another one. But yeah, again, nature, nurture. That. Like, how do we foster that for people as teachers is hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about Mandy. You have assisted Mandy on / associated on how many hundred episodes of television?
I think we crossed 150 on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Yeah.
How many hundreds of episodes have you choreographed, dear viewer listener? We have so much to learn.
Sorry. And they weren't episodes, but numbers over the course of 2 seasons.
That's right.
I was like, whoa, 100 episodes is a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But you'll get there. I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are the qualities about you that make you a great assistant / associate? And what are the qualities about you that make you a great leader? And if somebody asked me this question, I'd be like, making me say this out loud?
Yeah.
But yes, I am. I'm making you say this out loud.
Wow.
And if you come up short, I will fill that list for you because I think you're great in all of your many, many roles, which you serve in many roles. And I think that's another, when we talk about getting older and longevity and doing things for your body, I think to keep a wide range of experiences is another reason why I'm able to keep going.
Yes.
If I was just
doing
touring
one thing. Agreed.
from 2007 till now, I wouldn't.
No.
I'm not.
It would be hard to stay
yeah.
interested and to stay caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're bouncing back.
Okay.
What do you think? How would you answer that?
Man, well, I think it's important to acknowledge that those two roles are different.
Yeah.
And
I think I have an episode about
I think
that.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And / like whoever you are assisting or associating. I've never said it like that, but that is correct.
Yeah.
Will also change, you know? And I very thankfully have assisted a great handful of people over a long amount of time.
Yeah.
Just Mandy, the longest, and probably the only person that our relationship has progressed from assistant to associate to even co-choreographer.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
And I mean, that also in and of itself is such a gift, to have longevity of a relationship and a mentorship that can progress like that. And I think I'm realizing how rare that is too, especially, you know, we've talked about it a little bit, but also this summer just have received that question a lot from young students of how can I get to be in that position of being an assistant or associate? And it's so different now. I mean, at least for myself and Mandy, that LADF scholarship, which is how we
19 years ago.
Yes, 20 plus, because I was before I graduated high school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I've known Mandy more than half my life, you know, and worked together, you know. So, and it was really by chance that she was chosen to be the choreographer for that scholarship, LADF scholarship group that she did a number for us. So it really is happenstantial, you know, but it is a relationship. It's something that's built over a long amount of time. And so I encourage, just this as a side shoot for any young people that are hoping to be in that position, maybe start thinking about it as more than a position. It's a relationship. And you also have to want that part of it. It's not quite a clinical exchange of like, I get to be in the room with you and learn how you do what you do and help you do what you do. And that's it. Like, because what we do is personal, because I think a lot of us care about it. So that energy in the room when creating it's never so cut and dry, you know? So I think, people that have assistants or associates, it's like they want someone in the room that they can relate to. So thus a relationship.
Yes.
And so as an assistant, look, we have an assistant joining us.
Tiny one.
The sweetest Tiny. As an assistant, I think I am good at facilitating. I believe in that role. That is often what you are doing, is facilitating what the choreographer needs from you. So whether that be cleaning a choreography that was made, whether it's help setting things up, whether that be logistically, physically in the room, a voice when they need to step out, that you can keep leading a little bit to the dancers, what have you. I'm good at that. I like doing that. I think in general, I like to help. I'm like, give me a job.
Such a
I really
helpful
like
person,
to help. So, and then as an associate, which in my opinion, is more of a creative contribution, I also love that. That's really one of my most favorite parts of any project, is like the beginning part of it, of like figuring out what it is and how do we do that, So I think even from a very early age, I think that was always my impulse. Like, I wanted to be a part of that part of it, and want to ask questions about that part of it, rather than, I think some people get a lot of satisfaction of like kind of showing up and like, okay, tell me what to do and I'll do it, and I do. But I want to ask, like, but why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Like, that why question shows up for me so much, especially as a choreographer, sometimes to a detriment, where I'm like, why? And then I'm like, I can't move until I know why, So I think these are things that why I'm good at that. Just want to help. I want to support. I want to creatively contribute. If you want that from me, that's my favorite. And I can lead, because that's like, you have to be able to do that.
You do have to be able to do that. It's interesting that so often people who are great facilitators get bumped up to leadership because they're in the room. They know how to do things.
Yeah.
And I do think that a lot of what makes a great assistant is leadership capability.
Yeah.
And also a knowingness of when to lead and when to support.
That is huge.
And that is something else that I think you do really, really well.
Thank you. Yeah, I probably a general fear of overstepping, because I was always like, I don't want to overstep.
Yeah.
So that's good. But then that makes, to your other question, like, when being in the full leadership position, like, just to not question self is hard.
Oh, man.
That's a big challenge. I think as a leader, I lead with kindness. Hopefully, if it's clarity as much as I have it, I think as a leader, I like to impart information. So that feels good as a team, like, just to like, okay, get everyone on board again, because I love collaborating.
Yeah.
So I rarely am moved to like just be alone in my room and make something.
Almost never.
Yeah. Actually, probably never.
Almost
Very
never.
rarely, and especially
Oddly,
not lately. Yeah.
Today, I made a little exercise.
Oh, okay.
But choreography, no.
Okay.
Jilly, I think you just exercised some incredible self-awareness.
Oh,
I would
thanks,
co-sign
Ross.
all of that.
Thanks.
I will say also, I think that one thing, and another thing that you do well in the leadership role is maintain the idea of exploration versus pretending to know all the things.
Oh, yeah.
And I think in an associate or assistant role, it might be a more natural fit to not know, like, what if, is there a world where, But so many people think that choreographers know and should know everything, and so many choreographers think that they know and should know everything. And you are really always game to explore and find what else. And so what? And so what else?
Yes. So
and that
what else?
I really, really love. I love working for you.
Oh my gosh, Dana,
And
thank
it's
you.
not
That's a
happened as
huge
many times
honor.
as I would like. All the more, bring them, keep bringing them.
Well, I love that you said that, because I've been thinking in the last year a bit about that. And because I ask a lot of questions. Like, why is often at the genesis of anything I make. Like, why is it happening? Why? You know, and why do I care about it? And then thus hopefully others will care about it. But, and I think
That's why it's important to answer that question.
yeah, because I think I love questions. I also think I love work that is questioning. Like, I think sometimes I'm a bit repelled by work that's so sure of itself.
Yeah, so declarative.
Yeah, you know, or like, I don't know why. Sometimes I'm like,
I
just
doubt
doesn't.
you.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
when I feel like there's a little bit of question in the work, maybe I just relate to that, you know. So, but hopefully the question is a playful thing that we've agreed on,
Yes,
and not just like I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
But I love, and that doesn't work for every situation. Like I think work has to be very decisive and declarative, but I think at the heart of things, like questions are playful.
Yeah.
And especially if I don't quite know the answer.
Oh, so much
that.
fun.
Yeah.
I remember like learning combos used to be fun to me. Learning 8 counts and hard 8 counts.
Yes.
That was
Challenge.
Fun. I loved that.
Love that challenge at
Loved
that time.
that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time.
Yeah.
That's softened a bit. I'm
Same.
more interested in tools now.
Same.
I'm way more interested in
Or situations. This is what I'm interested in.
nice, like escape rooms, but
Kind
for
of.
dance.
Yes, 100%.
Like, get out of this rhythm in one piece. Good luck.
Or like use this tool and then this may happen and then
Yeah.
go this direction while trying it. Like these kinds of, and then like, let's see how it goes. You
I
know, like
love it.
that's far more interesting for me, not only inside, but outside.
Yeah.
Like that I'd also rather watch.
Have you ever called on those tools on set? Like, have you ever needed to?
question.
Because one of the things that's great about that is that on set, oftentimes you don't have time. And if you
Almost
can
all
paint
the
with a
time.
broad enough stroke
Yeah.
to say, okay, dancers, move from there to here
Yeah.
on this rhythm with these objectives, go.
Yeah.
And to have dancers who are trained up enough to know what
Yeah.
you're talking about and be able to execute it, that is rare.
Yeah.
So I want to take your class now, and I want all of you listening to get your butts in there because it is a humbling and empowering experience to say like, wow, I really fancied myself in charge of my body. But some of the objectives that you ask make me feel like, oh, hang on. Let me try
brand
again.
new.
I need to practice.
Oh my gosh, I need to practice.
Need to practice.
This is a definite, genuine cry in one of our seaweed
Oh my God,
rehearsals.
in one of our
like
rehearsals.
a bit of panic, like I need to practice. It was very.
I need to practice.
So it
I might
lives in
have it on
infamy.
tape.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I'll try to find it.
Well, and I think too, like there's 2 thoughts that I really love in your first question of that. Like, have I found that there are situations on set where that can
yes.
bring, and actually I would say I feel like those things haven't fully merged yet. I think because I think in a more set environment, I often default to like must know, must answer. Everyone's
Get
counting.
specific.
Because if I don't know, then there's a whole like pinwheel of people that are not going to know to do their job. And so, but I would love to have a little bit more space in there for it.
Yeah.
You know, cause I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like kind of change my mind about that. But that's a hard muscle to unflex.
Yeah.
Of just like must know, must tell, go. But the playfulness is something I hope to have because if you ever come to class, it might not seem at first so apparent how like what we're doing in there you can apply to being on set. But it is exactly what you're saying. It's the malleability to make change, to change your mind about something, to have something new thrown at you that you also have to include in what you're thinking about, which is 100% of the time what's going to happen to you on set, where things are going to change. There's going to be 5 things that you're thinking about at one time, as well as still being on camera and being a great performer. And so I think us to practice that capacity to be practicing many things at once while performing, while seeing each other, while being aware of where you are in the room is very applicable as a professional.
So
even
important
though
as a professional.
we're not talking about it in that way. Because I'm like, like, again, the class space for me is a play space. So, and even though the play might be very challenging, as we were also talking about, I love that. That feels playful for me.
Yes.
So, and often give things that I can't do on purpose because I'm like, I love that
practice
feeling.
that.
I want to practice. And I love that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I don't know my body.
Yeah,
I thought I
I'm
could
not
do
in
that.
charge right now.
Nope.
I love
And
that feeling.
That's a thrill. Like, what a thrill.
Especially in a safe space of
Yeah.
class space. If I
Yeah.
must feel that feeling, which I don't hate, let it be in the safe space of class. I love it.
If we do something for so long, I think we get used to the feeling of like, I know what this is and I killed it. And like, I know that feeling and that feels good too. But I think, I don't know, lately the feeling of like, I don't have a handle on this. I'm at my limit. And then seeing others, like being with others while you're in that state is like the most special experience.
Yes.
That, again, I get a thrill.
Yes.
And I think this is also very much a very seaweed element, kind of, I don't know, not discipline, but yeah, like we are very much with each other when we don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Solidarity. Solidarity and discovery.
Yeah. And,
oh my God,
and it's the most, it's just thrilling. And so I want to give that to others, but
it's so funny. Riley encouraged me to watch Trevor Noah's Netflix special.
Okay.
And I don't want to give away the joke, but he talks about like the feeling of being flabbergasted.
Okay.
Like,
yes. Yes.
in disbelief. And the only thing better than being flabbergasted is to have a partner in flabbergast so that I'm like, what? And then I see that you're also like,
yes.
And it's similar. They're cousins. It's not the
For
same, but they're
sure.
very closely related.
Yeah.
That is
for
so
sure.
funny.
Yeah.
On the subject of like being at limits.
Oh, tiny making
She's
bark
at her
sounds.
limit.
I know.
On the subject of like being at your limits, I am really curious because you have pulled off some remarkable things on set and been a part of some really challenging stuff. Can you think of the time that you were most at your limit? Like, I don't know if this is going to work or what to do next. Do you have any of those that stand out?
I mean, the opening scene of La La Land.
Yeah.
That is still one of the hardest things I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
A humongous challenge in cross-department coordination.
Totally.
Just communication from, choreographer to dancer. I mean, again, this is choreographed by Mandy Moore. I was her assistant at this point. It was also the first feature film I'd ever worked on. So I had no comparison to how that could go, should go.
Right.
And yeah, it just was so many moving parts that all had to line up perfectly. As, that's what Mr. Chazelle demands, expects, as you should, Yeah, I mean, that could be a very long conversation, but it really, and like really opened my mind to like how much more is involved to making something than just the choreography for
Totally.
its success.
Yeah.
Like who's doing it, when, in what circumstance, on what kind of props, how just a matter of 4 to 3 inches would
Such
determine
a narrow margin for error.
Yes.
It was insane.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there. My car was hot.
Yeah, and how you prepare for that.
How do you prepare for that?
Right. And with the means that you have to prepare for something, like we never rehearsed on a freeway for days at a time on all the cars that everyone was going to dance on. Like we had some clunker cars in a parking lot, not as many as we would have, without a median, without an incline that the 105 has.
Oh my God, that was not fun.
Yeah. And / it wasn't a heat wave when we practiced.
That
but
too.
It was when we shot
When we shot it.
Yeah.
I burned little holes through my little tights in my little leather moccasins. I was wearing leather shoes. They were like
On the
tiny
hot
blue
freeway.
ovens for my
Wow.
feet.
Tiny blue
Actually, they were
ovens.
blue suede shoes, now that I think about it.
Check that out. Precursor.
And I think that now you're calling to the front of my mind.
Yeah.
One of the other reasons why having an imagination in our field is essential.
Yes.
And it's not so that you can dream up shit that's never been done. It's so that you can dream the circumstances under which you're going to need to do something and prepare yourself as best as you can with what you have.
Yes.
Instead, it's like very rarely do we get to like no holds barred, just dream. But you're using your imagination to solve problems that you know are going to exist. And then on the day you find out there are problems that you didn't know about and you have to solve them.
Yep.
That's where most of the creativity comes, is in problem solving.
Yeah.
Not in like these big grand, like, artistic gesture type of creativity. It's like, oh shit, how are we going to not slide off the cars? What about sandpaper?
Yes.
Things like that.
And like not crushing the hood or the roof or whatever. Well, and as you were saying that, I also think like a couple of the other situations when you asked that question that came to mind were also films, but a part of it is also, I think, somebody else teeing up like something that's really challenging. Like, like both La La Land, another one that I thought it was Babylon. Also, Damien wrote both of these things. Like, he dreamed this up, right? Of like, I think it should go like this. And then us, coming in to collaborate with that to be like, okay, how do I make that possible? So the problem solving and what if we did this? So it's like kind of that one up, and I think part of me, I mean, maybe I just like haven't challenged myself enough, but left alone, there are things that you'll miss, like as what you might see as possible, right? So in that collaboration for things to just keep, adding on and adding on and adding on, it amounts to something that I don't think just one person would have made alone, So yeah, I don't know. Like, that's how we get to do such challenging things, I think, is because somebody said, what if? And then somebody said,
and then what if?
Yes, exactly.
What if plus?
Yes.
Yeah. And that is why you're such a great collaborator, because you see the value there. You know that 1 + 1 = 1 million.
Yeah.
Instead of 1 + 1 = no, this is my one. Okay, well, cool. Keep your one then. I love the Seaweed Sisters so much. I love what ifing with you and Is There a World with you, because it's so much fun.
Man, it's like lucky to be pushed that way. And so, any of those like hard things were never just because of like, let's do this as a challenge. It's like somebody teed something else up.
Yes.
And then somebody hit it, and then somebody caught it and threw it back, So like, and those are the really interesting, I think, creative results, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well said.
Yeah.
You ready for our fun? We could do this literally
know,
all day
also.
long, but I do think
We could talk.
Let's get to our wrist roll with it section. I really love these rapid fire questions. Are you ready for this?
I don't think so, but let's do it.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have these written down. We're gonna go off the cuff. I always start pretty similarly, so you're gonna be fine. But then we'll get into the weeds, as it were. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Nice. Stripes or polka dots?
Both at the same time. I almost wore a polka dot skirt with the shirt. So there you go.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite solo that you ever danced?
Oh, myself?
Yep.
Favorite. Oh, it should be fast. No,
quick fast. Quick fast.
God. Oh, the solo that I've been performing in the last couple of years that I made for myself to Benny and the Jets.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have I seen that?
I don't think you have. Yeah. It was like my dream of like automated, I'm like an automated performer.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's forgotten what I do. I forgot my performance. And then like I hear a bit of the song and then I remember, but then it ultimately died at the end. It was my last performance. Yeah.
Also,
love sci-fi, want dance in sci-fi forever. How do we do that? Okay.
For all of you making those period pieces, the next Amadeus needs to be choreographed by Jillian Myers.
Or if you need me to be Amadeus, I can do.
She can. She looks just like him. We have photo evidence. Yes. And also science fiction. Yeah, way more science fiction needs dance.
Please.
It needs movers. We can prove it. We also have a short clip from a seaweed project. This section we nicknamed Minority Report.
Because I love this film. I was like, let's do it. Yeah.
What do we call it? I call it acrylic report, because all the tech in that movie is just glass. It's just pieces of like polycarbonate or glass. That's so funny. Okay.
Sorry. Rapid fire.
Right. We're back. If you had to choose one album to be with you on a desert island, what would it be? God, I'm sorry.
It might be D'Angelo Voodoo. That was my first thought. So gone. Yeah. I don't know.
It's
or
a
Miles
great
Davis.
Answer. Ooh.
Or John Coltrane. These.
It's tough.
I would juggle, and if whichever one I caught, I'd be very happy with.
I love that. Okay. I love that option. I'm going to ask everyone, pick 3 and now juggle them. Which one did you catch? Okay. Move that you would delete forever. Like, I am done seeing this move.
I feel like there are some obvious answers, but that have already been said.
For me, it's so many, actually.
It is me too.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that I think really hurt your body.
Right. Anything that looks painful, I don't need to see.
Me either. Yep. I really I dislike watching
things
anything like
that aren't
that
anatomically...
make me go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Love that. How about what's your favorite move? I know what it is.
You do? Oh, yeah, you do. It's step touch forever.
It's so good.
Forever.
Yeah. But if it wasn't a step touch, what's second in line?
Let's step feels good. I mean, pas de bourrée is pretty classic.
Yeah.
And can be, again,
So
like
good.
applied in many different
It's mine too.
tempos and pauses.
You can level with it. You can up, down with it. You can
Right.
turn with
Step
it.
with across,
It's
step with
such
it out.
a versatile step.
Mess it up.
I love it. Mess
Yep.
it up.
Yep.
Burpada day.
I will only ever do burpada days in class from now on.
There's no day in the word pas de bourrée.
Nope, but I like
Bird,
it.
bird potter. Great. Okay.
Burpada day.
Is there an artist? I don't know why we're so music centric right now, but
Yeah,
you have
that's okay.
great taste in music.
Oh, thanks.
Is there an artist right now who you're like, where the fuck are you at? What have you been doing? For me,
Yeah.
Jamiroquai. Nobody asked, but I'm like, where are you? I know you're around. You're on
Yeah.
socials.
He sure is.
Where are you at?
I mean,
I'm
Waiting.
very
Waiting.
low key obsessed.
oh, no need to be low key. I mean, Riley knows. I think I've used like 4 songs from one album in class this year.
It's so good. All
I
of
also,
it.
yeah, I mean,
And
but
great
we
hats.
also love
Great
disco.
hats.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hats, disco and hats. But it's like, yeah, I love disco music. Where are you? So and so, feeling blank.
Don't worry about it. Maybe
It'll
this
come.
will be the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Who would you like to collaborate with? Anyone living or dead? Collaboration. You get to make a thing with a person. Go.
Well, the first flash is something we as a seaweed have said recently, and many a time over a period of time, is a Little Dragon, who
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But as a another duh. How have I not? Why did it not?
Oh my God.
come faster.
Bill
Sampha.
Irwin.
No.
Oh, dang.
Oh, we're thinking music. So
Okay, that's cool too.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well,
but
and you
also-
have gotten to collaborate
also-
with Bill Irwin. So.
I mean, as a birthday present. But okay, not just musicians.
Totally. Either way. Yeah. Either whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah. Sampha, good answer though.
Whoa.
Really good answer. That is a nice,
oh,
a
God.
nice musical, movementical
Man.
bond that you
His
two have.
Voice.
Woof.
But as far, wow. I mean, yeah, Bill is a great, really, wow, special.
Do you remember during COVID when I was like, I'm going to learn all the hat moves? And then I learned 3 and then I gave
They're
up.
so hard.
They're so hard. It's
Yeah.
really discouraging. The sound of a hat hitting the floor,
Is very sad.
an angel loses its wings every time.
And it's like quiet enough that it's only meant for you. It's like it's a solo death that only you
Yes.
are feeling and witnessing. Sorry, that's not. No need to laugh. But
No, but it's true.
I know.
We're gonna tighten these up.
Yep.
You are a well-read human being. You love books. What is your favorite book of the moment? Of the moment, not of all time.
No, I'm doing these side eyes at Riley because we often exchange kind of romantic period piece books. But I'm not going to reveal one of those right now.
Don't do it.
Oh God, Dana, these questions.
That's
Lately,
actually all I needed. I didn't need an answer. That was plenty.
I feel hot. I'm like the pressure
pressure
of
is insane.
answering.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
Wow,
I'm so
sweating.
sorry. I'm
It's
so sorry.
okay. I can just say the book that I'm reading right now, which I'm only like not even a third of the way in. It's called Prophet. It's a sci-fi book, so I'm still figuring it out.
Okay, fine,
I'm like,
fair. Totally
don't
fine.
know. No review yet.
But because you're a book person and a
Yeah.
words person, a very well articulated person,
Thanks.
what is your favorite word? Do you want to start with least favorite?
I mean, I love the word. I love the word happenstance, and
Ooh.
I really, anytime I get to use it, I try
Oh.
it. Yeah.
In any, it's not the same as circumstance. I almost
No.
used it wrong.
Yes, right.
You can't really say like in any happenstance.
Right.
No, you have to say it was like by happenstance.
Yeah. I know. Maybe because
In
that's why I don't use it very much.
That's
Because it's not
interesting.
easy to use.
No.
But it was a wonderful happenstance, and
Yes.
and now I'm questioning: is that really a
is that
word?
it?
It might just be slang.
Now
We'll
that
have
I'm
to
saying it so
Merriam-Webster
often, it doesn't sound like a
I
word
know.
at all.
I know. Maybe not. It is. Okay.
I mean,
so says Merriam-Webster. We're like,
No,
official?
it definitely is a
Cool.
word.
Oxford, sweet.
Happenstance.
Happenstance is good.
It's really good. Why is she just staring at me? Oh. She just wants to nibble on me.
Yeah.
She's telling me it's time to wrap it up. Are you
Okay,
ready, Jillian?
Totally. Yeah,
Final
let's
question.
Do it. Let's do it.
What are the
She's demanding.
I love
me
it.
too.
I love it when she like swallows the bark. She's like so close, Tiny.
Love you, Tiny.
Okay. Final question.
Yes.
What are the words that move you?
what comes to me is that this Langston Hughes poem that I've loved for so much of my life and have made a video essentially riffing off of it. The poem is called Motto. The video it's called Snap Into It is basically me trying to get through reciting this poem and digressing for 3 minutes. But the last line of the poem is, my motto as I live and learn is to dig and be dug in return. And I just have always loved that so much, the sentiment of like being into something and sharing that. Essentially, you know, there's a lot of ways you can interpret that, but yeah.
Thank you, Jillian Meyers, for
you're
sharing
welcome.
that and your bright, shiny, sparkly self. Oh,
Thank
I love
you,
you so
Wills.
much.
I
I
love
think
you.
the world of you. I'm so lucky to have you as my friend
We are,
and
but
colleague.
you.
Colleague.
Weed. Thank you for making this show and giving a space for thoughts and exchanges and for others to be a part of them.
You're welcome. I was looking directly at your right eye through that little horseshoe shape. This is a good angle.
Oh, you like
This is
it?
really interesting. I mean, I'd rather see your whole face unobstructed, but
Yeah.
it's my honor, my duty, and my pleasure to keep this space open, to give choreographers faces and voices, to give dancers voices and places to explore what's going on up here, to talk about it out here, and encourage people to keep doing it out here. So you go out there, keep it funky, smash the likes, subscribe, leave a review or rating, and I'll see you next time.
Don't. Like. Bam, bam.
Smashing the likes. This podcast was produced by me with the help of many. Big love to our executive assistant and editor, Riley Higgins. Our communications manager is Ori Valladares. Our music is by Max Winnie. Logo and brand design by Bree Reitz. Thumbnails and marketing by Fiona Small. You can make your tax-deductible donations to Words That Move Me, thanks to our fiscal sponsor, the Dance Resource Center. And also, many thanks to you. I'm so glad you're here, and if you're digging the pod, please share it. Leave a review and rating. And if you want to coach with me and the many marvelous members of the Words That Move Me community, visit wordsthatmoveme.com. If you're simply curious to know more about me and the work I do outside of this podcast, visit thedanawilson.com.